Hey everybody, this is the Working Investor. So congratulations, you're in the market to buy a used car. In this video, I want to explain to you why you made the right choice and why a used car will give you the optimal value. Also, we're going to talk about how not to get ripped off by the dealer and how to filter between what the normal fees are for any car, regardless of how and where you purchase it, versus what the dealer is trying to rip you off with. And also not to fall for those extended warranty scams. And finally, we'll talk about the total costs of ownership. Well, let's begin. So I came across this handy car depreciation calculator that I've been using for my purchases of vehicles, and I definitely recommend you guys use it. It's from caredge.com. So it's really, really good. Let me show you. So let's say, for example, you want to buy, you just put in your model or your make first. Let's do a Honda Civic. Let's say we're going to buy the car that's 3 years old and we're going to own it for 5 years. Let's see what the depreciation would be like. So it says that buying a car that's 3 years old and owning it for 5 years, it would depreciate 57% from the initial purchase of a brand new vehicle after 8 years. And here you can see the graph. So the brand new Honda Civic would be $24,000, just about $24,000. And then when you buy it 3 years in, where it's still fairly new, you're only going to pay roughly $17,000. So you're saving $8,000 off the cost of the car. And you can see the whole entire breakdown here. Like if you buy it 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years old, you're only paying $17,198. So you're getting about a 30% or 28.2% discount off the car, almost a third off the car. And then even when you own it for 5 years and get to enjoy it, you could still sell it for about 10 grand after 5 years. So you're essentially just paying $8,000 to enjoy the car and then sell it after 10 years. So that's a really good deal. And then you could see here that over time, obviously, that there is expenses that accrue for maintenance, and you could see that every year it increases more and more over time. So you're trying to get out before the maintenance are costing like $800 to $1,000 a year. So you kind of get out while it's still fairly affordable. And then something else to look out for is that I found this from Edmunds. So if you go on Edmunds, let's say you type in the Honda Civic. So they talk about total cost to own the vehicle. So it's always important to know what is your 5-year ownership costs. Now this includes also depreciation, and this is based on a brand new vehicle. In your case, you got $8,000 off depreciation. So you definitely are saving some money here. So they're saying the depreciation would be $10,000, but your depreciation would be $8,000. So it's also very good to see you could compare and contrast different vehicles. Something to keep in mind is that if you own, there's a big debate between a vehicle like a sedan versus an SUV. And I found out from my research that because the SUV is in such high demand, you can get the same specs of an SUV and same quality as an SUV if you get a sedan because it's not as hot in the market. But one thing to note is the bigger the vehicle is typically the safer in general. I wouldn't say for everything. And then your insurance may be a little cheaper. So that's good to factor in. Now let's talk about dealer fees. Now dealers like to upsell you all the time. They did studies on airlines between some companies that they would advertise the actual price. Let's say it costs $200 for a ticket, including all taxes and fees, versus airlines that would say, okay, I'm going to charge you $100 a ticket, but then they're going to sneak in, luggage fees and pick your own seat fees and scratch your nose fees and pretzel fees, and it ends up being $200. Even though both airlines, the customers are paying the same amount, they will go to the one that charged $100 on paper, even though they snuck in 100% of the value in fees. So a lot of car companies try to swindle you and do that, and it works. So there are certain fees that you just can't avoid. If you go on lendingtree.com and other places, like, for example, there are taxes, right? So you can't avoid taxes. However you buy the car, you're going to pay taxes, 5%, 6%, 8%, depending on what state or what city you live in. But then there's also documentation fees. These are like the title and registration. This you cannot avoid. It's actually more convenient just to do it in the dealer. But then there's like some other nonsense, bogus fee. I mean, you do have to also pay for inspection, title, license. But then they try to steal money from your pocket. They try to charge you for advertising fees. Oh, come on, it's a business. Like, are they going to pay you for car searching fees? Are they going to pay you for the time you spent away from work driving to the dealership? You can charge them for your fees and your time. Your time is valuable too. They'll try to upsell you with bogus costs of, you know, walk in the door fees, maintenance fees, all kinds of nonsense. And then there's like the stupidity of they try to upsell you and steal money from you with these extended warranties. Let's say, they're telling you that there's a warranty for extended warranty for 5 years, right? And they're going to charge you $2,500 for this extended warranty. Now, if you take $2,500, you can just put that into a bank account and you could just use it as your own little guarantee. So if you take 2,500, divided by, let's say, 60 months, that's how typical so you're paying $41 a month. You could just take $41 a month and put it into your account and basically just keep that 2,500 there. And if your car breaks down, you already prepaid or pre-saved the insurance. And if your car costs less than $2,500, then you come out ahead. And then I have some colleagues of mine that actually try to use this extended warranty from certain companies. I don't want to say which ones, and they give you a lot of headache about it. They say, "Oh, we don't cover this, we don't cover that." So there's no guarantee that even if you spend this money on the extended warranty, they'll promise you the world. You still won't. You still won't get it. They have all this, bogus appearance packages, etching. They make all this nonsense. Whatever fee they're going to charge you for any type of service, you can just do yourself or get it done on your own for cheaper. They'll try to upsell you as much as they can. So the number one thing to ask the dealer is, what is the out of cost fee, out the door fee, not out of the cost, out the door fee. That tells you like total, including tag, title, insurance that you have to pay. That's your own business. All the taxes and everything. Just ask them, what is the out the door fee? So once you know the out the door costs, once you know the out the door costs, then you kind of have a total amount that you're supposed to pay. And they usually try to play games and beat around the bush, but you need to like hold them to it and be like, you got to tell me the out the door costs. I don't want to talk about all your nonsense. Just tell me the out the door cost. That's how you can have clarity and know what you're paying for and how much you're paying for it. So that's just some of my tips. I hope you guys all enjoyed.